I think he won't be the top scorer. I think either Nebraska or Garbage spot ahead of him with the game potential they have set up for him. But I think he easily falls in that number 2 spot.
I like it. I'm going to say bust. I'm just not going to roster him. I know he started out hot, but I'm not in love with this guy. I think he's a little overhyped. Let's see how he does over the course of 1 month as opposed to giving him love just because he dominated 2 starts. Let's keep it going. Next beast or bust. He's a legend. He's a first baseman for the Angels at $2,900. Albert Pujols against the lefty, Ryan Carpenter.
I would go on the plus side of things. He hasn't really shown much power this year. He won a couple singles and maybe an RBI, so you can go ahead and roster him, but he's hitting a home run pretty much every 3 or 4 games. He is kind of due with good matchup. I'm going to head side of the plus on this one.
I like the stat prediction, a couple singles and an RBI, because it does seem like that's how the season's been going. The matchup is nice. If you need to save the cash, sure, maybe that single 1 RBI turns into a double with 2 runners in scoring position and his day is made. Next, beast or bust. He's a second baseman. He's for the Oakland Athletics at $2,700. Jerkison Profar against Tanner Roark.
If he's in the top of the lineup, I've seen him doing well. I'm going to go bust. Oakland's a big park. I don't really see him, going hard. And he's a discount, but I'm going to go bust on this one.
Okay, it's a nice sleeper pick. He did hit a home run on Thursday night, on Wednesday night, and hopefully that type of momentum can get his season going. I don't own him in season-long leagues, but I'm sure a lot of people do. I'll say he keeps the momentum going with a beast. Next on our list, he was maybe the #1 overall draft pick after Mike Trout. He's a third baseman for the Indians, $3,400. Jose Ramirez, beast or bust?
I think tomorrow he breaks out. I think I'm not going to call a home run. I'll say he gets 2 or 3 days tomorrow, and there's a good chance that he can go very under-owned. And for a leverage play over Arenado, I'll go beast again on him.
Yeah, I'm with you. The matchup is there. He does need to get it going as well. He hit a home run, on Wednesday, so he can definitely keep that going. And, it's a new season every single day. I'm going to say beast as well. And the last beast or bust for you, I got another Cincinnati Red. He's a first baseman. He's $3,100. Joey Votto against Chris Bassett. Beast or bust?
I haven't seen Votto all year. He looks like he's, kind of losing some of his power, walking a lot. I'm going to keep it real simple, Joe bust.
I'm there with you too. He's definitely not the same player he once was. Well, that was the morning slate. We got the afternoon slate right after this. Okay, I'm just going to do that. Okay, do you want an interview for the second half or just jump straight into whipping around the infield?
We can do a quick intro. We don't do an interview. We can, what do you think, any thoughts? Do you want to talk about the website, what the website's doing, or you want to stay with the book, or...
Yeah, why don't you give a little summary of why someone should... I'm going to ask you, why should a daily fantasy player go to WinDailyDFS.com? That's going to be your question.
Okay, and just, a couple times we were finding out, I don't know if it's my internet connection or not, but you think that's being recorded like that, or no?
It might be, but I can always redub if it's like something, if it's bad, then I can just redub over.
Alright, it happened like twice, luckily, I guess on what you were saying, but it should be good. Now let me ask you a question, just I want to talk about with you.
Yeah.
What do you like tomorrow from the pitching standpoint?
I haven't looked. We'll find out on the fly. I honestly, this is the first I'm looking at it, but I know all these guys, so we can discuss.
Alright, so just when we come to pitching, I want you to kind of try and have some discussions on the guys that, both hit me about, because there's no Carrasco, there's no Darvish, there's no real good matchup. Every game is, except for that LA Washington game, every game's got a good run total over 4. Pitching's really tough, there's no good ace. So, alright, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man, feel free to ask me questions. I got answers too. I'm here. Alright. Yeah, put me on the spot for anything. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is the Win Daily DFS podcast. We are now doing the main slate. Tonight we are joined once again by the author of Win Daily, Winning Daily Fantasy Sports and Life. You can pick that book up on Amazon for 99 cents. But we're going to go, Jason, right away to a question for all the listeners out there. Jason, the question is, I'm a daily fantasy baseball player. Why should I go to windailydfs.com?
Real simple. We have 5 DFS top-ranked pros on the site. We're giving out free content every single day, 4 to 5 articles a day, 1 podcast a day. We have 2 projection models, and we also have Mark Burkett, meteorologist on site, kind of give you that weather insights. You don't have to go searching around online. So you have everything you need for free to help you draft some lineups. We've had some winners, respond to us and thank us already, for our content after, only being up on the web for about a week now. Between me and Jeremy, we've been doing this for a long time. We've qualified for events before. We've won 6-figure prizes a couple times. We've been to the Playboy Mansion. So we want to basically give back to the community. And, we want to help each other out, help the community out. And all the content is for free. So instead of going elsewhere and paying 20, 30, 40, $70 a month for content that you can get from us for free, check out WinDailyDFS.com. Ask us questions. We'll give you access to the pros. We're here to help you guys out. So check it out. Let's get into the slate, Jeremy.
All right, I love it. I love the knowledge. And with that, let's get to whipping around the infield. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is whipping around the infield. We're going to go through the 5-game main slate. It's a tight one. It starts earlier than usual as well. 6:35 Eastern. I'm sorry, 9:35. No, it's 6:35 Eastern, 3:35 Pacific. First game on the slate. We are in New York. We got J.A. Happ pitching against the Mariners. Mike Leake. Lots of power bats are getting me excited. What about you, Jason? How do you feel about this matchup?
That's what's tricky. I think this entire slate, given that it's a small slate, is really tricky when it comes down to pitching. There's not one guy that's saying, I'm going to build my lineup around this pitcher. I think you're going to have to take a chance on somebody that you're not too comfortable. It won't be Mike Leake, but we have to find a pitcher here. So I want to first get your opinion on that. We're a small ballpark in Yankee Stadium. They got some power righties in Edwards, Santana, Tim Becker, and Haniger. Do you see any possibility of playing guys like that?
No possibility at all. Because the truth is, J. Happ could walk 2 batters and then give up a home run and his day is ruined. And there's just too many potent bats. You listed a few of them. Edwin Encarnacion, he's on fire right now. And when Edwin is on fire, Edwin can hit a home run off anyone. J. Happ's not scary. He's not scary. On the other side, Mike Leake, he's definitely not scary. I'm going to say all bats can be stacked. You can stack both sides of this matchup, and you can win your money easy back on a GPP.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I think on both sides of things, having in trouble. He hasn't really pitched too many gems. It's a small ballpark, and Mike Leake is throwing a couple home runs. The Yankees are starting to get their bats back. So I can see both these lineups, as a potential stack. And I won't be playing League for sure. And unless it's a GPP, I want to be a little different. I won't be playing J.A. either.
Yeah, let's not even think about these pitchers. We both agree that we would stack both offenses. And let's keep the party rolling. Now it's 7:45 Eastern. An hour later, the second game starts. We're in St. Louis this time. Michael Waka is on the mound against Joe Musgrove. Michael Waka he's an underrated pitcher, but he's very expensive at $8,500. Musgrove's at $8,200. Do any of these pitchers, are they on your radar? What do you expect from the offenses against these guys?
I think the offense and the pitchers will hold the play here. I think, like I said earlier, you're going to have to take a chance with the pitchers tonight. There's no clear-cut ace with a great matchup tonight. Small little factor here. You have national pitchers who, you could give the bump to. Being that they're playing in a National League park, you have to face the pitcher. That gives them a little bit of advantage in regards to maybe an extra K or two throughout the lineup. So I think it's pretty close at the top between, Waka, Patrick Corbin that we'll mention later, Soroka that we'll mention later. And Musgrove has had some good games. He has some potential. I'm going to side with Waka probably over Musgrove, because I think they have a better chance of winning the game. But at the same time, Musgrove will probably be low on tomorrow. The Cardinal lineup is full of righties, so I can see him potentially doing well. But I would have to side with Walker. What do you think?
Yeah, if I had to pick one between Walker and Musgrove, definitely Walker at home. His last start was actually lights out, but he drew just a little bit of trouble. He ended up walking the bases loaded, and one swing of a bat by a backup catcher, grand slam, that completely ruined his day. The matchup's there. The Pirates' bats aren't scary, even though they did hit nicely against Texas Wednesday morning. But I like Walker in that matchup. I don't like any of the bats from either side. Cardinals, Matt Carpenter's hitting well, but Musgrove in that fastball, that's not an easy pitch to catch up to. He could do it, though. It's a nice little sleeper pick. How do you feel about Carpenter? Are we going to roster him? His price is currently $3,400 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think he's good as a one-off. I don't really see, the Cardinals being a stack here. It's a short slate, so you're going to have to take some chances to be different. I think Carpenter, at his price, is more affordable than a guy like Bregman, or some other people we'll talk about later. But I think I can play him as a one-off, trying to be different with the stack. Like you said, I'm not really too eager to stack either of these teams. And like you said, Walker would be my choice if I wanted to slide a pitcher in from this game.
Well, let's carry over to those other games. Let's go to Houston now. And Houston, do we have a problem? Mike Minor coming into town in the Texas Rangers. Mike Minor's been maybe the story of fantasy baseball pitching this year. You can almost expect to guarantee 8 strikeouts. How does he do against this Houston lineup?
So here's my question. You have a guy who's been really hot, and you get a projected run total that's going to be the highest of the slate. Right now I'm looking at it, 5.9 runs. I know they just put the projection out there, but it's something to really consider. So you have a pitcher's been pitching great. He had a good start, I believe, versus Houston already this year. And then on top of that, you got Vegas telling you that Houston's projected to score the most runs. So it's kind of a catch-22. He dropped 52 versus Houston in Texas earlier this year. It's a different Houston team. They've been coming around. They blew up the slate today. Brantley went homer twice. It's a tough equation. I really don't know what to trust: the recent success of Mike Minor, the recent success of the Astros, or Vegas telling me that, you know what, this team projects. You've got Springer, Altuve, Bregman, and Correa that supply all the power. They're somewhat affordable. They're going to be one of the more expensive stacks. And you kind of, make it a little bit cheaper by either going with Gurriel or Tyler White, or maybe even Chirinos at the bottom, or even Jaden Rizzo on the bottom. So it's a really tough call for me. Something I got to dive more into. But if I had to take a guess today, I'd probably stack the Astros before I pitch Mike Minor. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you a little bit, but if you're playing a 25-cent GPP, to win a K or 750, whatever FanDuel has that for Thursday, I would say it's worth that quarter to definitely throw it in for an Altuve, Correa, Springer. Get that righty beginning of the order power. Let's look at the other side, though, because that's maybe why Vegas loves the over-under so much. We got the lefty in Wade Miley. He's having a better year than usual. I think we're forgetting how home run prone this guy is. His ERA is 3.20. Can he keep it up against the Rangers?
No, I don't see any reason to play Miley here. I'll be fading him for the most part. I think Elvis Andrews could easily, hit a home run in this game. You got some other people like Cabrera that might have a shot. Not too big on Hunter Pence. I would probably try to, fit in Andrews and maybe one other player. I wouldn't do a full stack here, with Texas versus the lefty. Miley hasn't been terrible, but, maybe sliding Gallo. He hit another home run today. Guys been hitting lefties and righties recently, so Gallo has some power potential. I think a two-man stack with him and Andrews could be in play here. And, if you think Miley will get blown up in a short set like this, Texas will probably be one of your lower owned stacks. So, be advantageous a little bit, maybe, sliding a full 3-man or 4-man stack. What are you predicting out of Miley today?
Yeah, I like the call. I mean, Miley's definitely not bulletproof. The Rangers hitting the ball. I'm surprised that Hunter Pence is $3,800. Who would have ever thought that this day would come? The past few years he hasn't done anything. He did hit the go-ahead home run on Wednesday. He is facing the lefty, but I'm not paying up for that $3,800. Someone that has me excited is Rudy Odor, the second baseman for the Rangers. I know it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but I'm telling you, my heart right away, it feels like that home run's going to come. He can hit a homer off the lefty. He's hitting 20 plus. I believe he's hitting 30 home runs in a season, if not 30, like 1 or 2 off. I like Odor as a big sleeper at 2,800. You want that lefty-lefty call you were talking about in the early slate? That's the lefty-lefty on call I'm giving you right now. So take that and run with it.
I think it's a good call. I think, when you're looking at these lefty-lefty, matchups, if it's a lefty-lefty like Chris Sale, had a good game today, which was overpowering, something that you might want to stay away from. But Miley's not overpowering. He's more of a finesse pitcher. So, in these types of matchups, I don't shy away from the lefty-lefty. That's why I mentioned Gallo. I think Odor, will be low. People favor him simply because it's lefty-lefty. But if you're stacking this game up, or you're trying to do a full game stack with both Astros and Rangers, I wouldn't shy away from Odor or Gallo.
All right, let's carry over to the 4th of the 5th games. This is going to be at 9:40 Eastern. We got Arizona, Atlanta, Mike Soroka, maybe the hottest young pitcher in baseball, against Luke Weaver, who came over from the Cardinals, and he's been dominating. The Atlanta bats have been ice cold. They did not hit well against the Dodgers at all. They really did not hit well against the Padres either in the series before. Do you see the Braves offense getting it together against Luke Weaver?
I think there's some potential here for a little breakout game. Freeman's always in play versus a lefty or a righty, and you got a guy like Weaver who he gets the platoon matchup against. Again, we have Vegas coming in early, the night before, saying that the Braves are projected for, over 5 runs. So you have a situation here where I can see Freeman, having a breakout game. Albies has, been hot and cold, but when he's hot, he can easily pop a home run or 2 out. Arizona's been a good part to hit in the last couple of years. So I would lean more towards the Braves over Luke Weaver. And I think Soroka is definitely in play. Like I told you earlier, there's not too many pitchers that have been pitching well in the slate. He has potential. Arizona hasn't been showing anything recently. He's dropped 40 points in his last 3 games. Yes, granted, it's been against Miami, San Diego, and Cincinnati. But he's faced Arizona earlier this year. He dropped 30. He didn't get the win. So if you think think he can get the wins tonight. You know, he can probably get you 40 again. So he's probably one of the top pitchers of the slate. I think between him and the guy we mentioned in the next game, there's some potential there. He is expensive though. It's going to be tough to kind of slide him in and get the bats you want. So you got to kind of take that into account. Is he worth the $9,800 on FANDUEL more? What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, the way I see it is, Arizona, they're coming back home after a long road trip. They were in Colorado over last weekend. Then they went to Tampa Bay. But they won that last game in Tampa Bay in extra innings. And now they're coming back home. I feel like that momentum shift is really going to carry over. There's some potential for a really nice Luke Weaver start because these Braves, they're ice cold. And you talked about Ozzie earlier. I feel like Ozzie does his most damage when he faces a lefty pitcher. That's where his power swing really comes at down top of the order there. Tonight he's got Luke Weaver, a hard-throwing righty. Luke Weaver, he's been up and down, but mostly up in his last start. You look at it against Colorado in Colorado. It's only 7 innings, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. So Luke Weaver, he's got some big sleeper potential. Looking at the opposite end, Mike Soroka's been lights out. Diamondbacks, I mean, if I had to pick a bat off the top of my head, you got like David Peralta in the middle of that lineup. But he needs batters on base to make that happen, and that's not going to be easier said than done. A player that I want to ask you about, Jason, is he plays second base, he plays outfield. He's in the outfield on FanDuel at $3,900. Ketel Marte. How do you feel about him when you see him on daily fantasy slate? He's putting up numbers, but is he must start in your eyes, more often than not? What about tonight?
He's had some breakout games. I had him today. He hit a couple more runs, a couple weeks back. He's not somebody I'm going to force into my lineup. I think other people in the slate down. He got 4, in a Atlanta stack, Arizona stack. It makes sense. He's a switch hitter. He's got some pop. He steals some bases, but not somebody I'm targeting. Dyson is coming in at the top of the lineup. He's got more stolen base potential. He can hit a ball in the gap. He's a play center at the top of the lineup. I'd probably take the discount on Dyson before I drop down Marte.
All right, I like that analysis. Let's keep it going. We're on the West Coast now. We're at the last game of the night, 10:10 Eastern. Rich Hill and the Dodgers take the mound against Patrick Corbin and the Nationals, a battle of the great throwing lefties. You asked me, Jason, before we started. Hold on. You at 5, 4, 3, 2. You asked me before this episode started, Jason, which pitcher is the most exciting to me, and right away it's jumping off the page as we look at it, Rich Hill. Let me tell you why. Dodger Stadium, right now they're playing great baseball. That environment is just all about winning. And those national bats, they are beat up. There's no Trey Turner. Of course, they're missing Bryce Harper from last year. Rendon is injured. Soto is injured. Actually, Rendon might play. But regardless, Rich Hill, he's shown enough that he's still healthy. Try to convince me out of Rich Hill right now.
All right, what's the pitch count?
Well, the first question, last game he ran into trouble. Let's see if we can find his exact pitch count. Keep going about the game, though. Talk to me about the Nationals lineup.
So you asked me about Rich Hill. I always worry about the guy. I always worry about all Dodgers pitchers because, their coach has a quick hook. Yes, they're facing the Nationals. Yes, the Dodgers are a pitcher's park. They should be in line for the win, but we haven't seen much from Rich Hill so far this year. I know he was out in LA. He followed the team, pretty strongly. He's popping, and some projection models see him popping. But I don't know what to make from him. He's got 2 starts. He pitched versus Pittsburgh. He dropped 37, and then he pitched 40 versus San Diego, and he kind of got lit up. So, what have you seen from him? Have you watched these 2 games? Where's your head at? Being a Dodgers, fan, being out in LA, what do you think you expect out of Hill tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I'm not a Dodgers fan. I just live in LA. always been a daily fantasy guy, never loyal to anyone. But what I love about Rich Hill is that he's just been the most reliable pitcher for the Dodgers over these past few years. You asked about his pitch count. His pitch count was 85 the last 2 games, but you look at his last start, he really ran into trouble early in that game, giving up a couple home runs against San Diego, which is really never, acceptable. But at the same time, now he's back home. It's a winnable matchup. The Nationals offense does not scare me. What does scare me is Patrick Corbin pitching a solid game as well. But the Dodgers are hot. Justin Turner hit 3 home runs in the game Tuesday. Are you going to roster Justin Turner against the lefty for only $3,300 at third?
What I'm looking at, I'm not going to chase that game. I think your pitcher is most likely coming from this game. I think Corbin, he has the potential to Dodgers scare me. It's the lowest projected, runs for both sides. This is supposed to be the lowest scoring game for Corbin Hill, kind of being in the pitcher's role. You got a good bullpen out of the Dodgers. I'm pretty much going to fade this game from a hitter standpoint. I'm really going to try to figure out which one of these pitchers I like more. And if you get Hill at a discount, it's probably one of the cheapest guys on the slate. If you can get through 6 innings, I'll be in love with him. I'll be totally happy, and I'll be on my way to cash in some money tomorrow. If you can get me 6 innings and a quality start,
I'm going to say over on that. And with that, let's actually stick. Okay, I'm going to repeat that line. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to say beast on that call. And with that, let's segue straight into beast or bust. Is beast or bust a hard-hitting rapid fire? Are you going to start this guy in daily fantasy baseball for Thursday, May 8th? Jason, are you ready for beast or bust?
let's do this, brother.
All right, first, beast or bust. He's a catcher for the New York Yankees. He's among the leaders in home runs in all of baseball at $4,300. Gary Sanchez against Mike Leake. Beast or bust?
I usually take catchers on FanDuel, but Gary Sanchez, he kind of makes me, divert from my process. I think he has a good game tomorrow. I think the Yankees break out. They're getting a lot of pieces back, so let's go with beast on Sanchez.
Beast. I love the call as well. Gary Sanchez, always one of my favorites to watch. I have a feeling that he's going to hit more home runs than any catcher in Major League Baseball history. Let's keep it going. Beast or bust. He's a shortstop. He plays for the Houston Astros. He's $3,900. Carlos Correa. He's facing Mike Minor.
I'm going to go beast again. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup between Elvis and Correa. I think they both have good games. But I'm going to go beast. It's a tough matchup, basically versus Minor. Been good lately, but I'm going to vote. With this Hughes line kind of against Minor or against the bullpen. And I see a lot of runs scored in this game. So I'm going to go beast on Correa.
Beast, I like the call. I definitely agree with you. There's some of that little home run potential right there, hitting in the middle lineup. There'll be ducks on the pond. It's just about him knocking them in. Beast or bust. He's been maybe one of the hotter Braves as of late. He's a third baseman. He is Josh Donaldson against Luke Weaver in Arizona at $3,200.
I'm going to go bust on this one. Donaldson started cold, got a little bit hot. Like you said earlier, the Braves kind of cooled off recently. Weaver is throwing gas. He's been, really good as of late as he joined the new staff. So I'm going to go bust on Donaldson.
Yeah, I agree. The only time you can really use Josh Donaldson is until he starts really ripping the balls against a soft lefty. And Luke Weaver, hard-throwing righty, I'm going to agree and say bust. Next up on that list, we're going to stay in that game. We got an outfielder at $3,300 for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Adam Jones against Mike Soroka.
Definitely bust here. Righty versus righty. Soroka's been good. I'm going to fade most of this, Diamondbacks line. So I'm going to go bust on Jones.
Yeah, I agree. The matchup is definitely too tough, though. I just want to give him a little special props because he is having a nice season. Are you impressed with what Adam Jones is doing so far?
The guys are done, man. Defensively, you won't see too many outfielders who are on his level. We made a nice little catch. I believe it was yesterday before, blowing bubbles, lobbing a double or triple into the fence. So the kid can play, the guy can play, he's been doing it for a long time. I like to see him be on a team that's competitive. He hasn't been on one of those, and I can't remember how long now from Baltimore. So the guy's a great guy, a great player, great defensive player, all-around player. He's hitting in the middle of the lineup, and he's doing well this year, man. The guy's a gamer.
I like the analysis. Last one for you, beast or bust. Usually he's the number one first baseman on everybody's list. Tonight, he is only $3,600 on FanDuel for St. Louis against Joe Musgrove, Paul Goldschmidt.
I'm going to go bust. You got a running matchup. Musgrove's been good. You're in a pitcher's park for the most part. I'm going to go bust on Goldschmidt. Hasn't been too hot lately. Hasn't really gotten his groove yet in St. Louis. Had a couple of games here and there. But, not doing much on the power potential. He had a couple games early season where he hit a couple runs a game, but he hasn't had a home run in 10 plus games, so I'm going to stay away till he's up.
I agree with you. The matchup is a little tough. Though the price tag is appealing. If you're playing a 25-cent GPP, sure, flip that quarter. But if I'm going with my main money team, I'm with you. Paul Goldschmidt is bust. Well, that was the Win Daily DFS podcast. I was joined by Jason Mezarahi. Jason, thank you for being on the show.
I appreciate that. Before we leave, I want to touch on one thing. Now I want to pick your brain a little bit. Tomorrow there's a World Fantasy Baseball Championship on FanDuel. It's one of the nicer ones that I've seen so far, offered by FanDuel. It's a little more expensive than, what some people might be willing to play tomorrow, but I'm already in the tournament, so I want to pick your brain. It's a $300 qualifier. It's pretty much, you got to finish for a quick to get that ticket. If not, you're not really making any money back. It's 101 entrants. What would you do if you were me, basically jumping into the tournament tomorrow? What would you be stacking? What would you be looking at? You got to go for broke. It doesn't really matter if you finish 99th place or 4th place. We're going for first. So what would be your approach? You qualify for a lot of events in the past. Live qualifiers. What would be your approach tomorrow? It's a short slate, not too many, stand-out pitches tomorrow. Where would you start your build?
The first thing that gets me excited, and by the way, I'm going to be coming with you when you get first place tomorrow.
You got to guarantee you will be coming. I don't even know where we're going, but wherever we're going, you might invite, lock it in.
Lock it in.
I'm sorry, but it's all yours, brother.
Lock it in. All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to do when I look at this slate is figure out how to stack that Yankees-Mariners game. You just got to stack it because there can honestly be a home run every single inning. So after you stack that, you are going to be paying up. So you're going to have to be going for the lower price pitcher here. And it really comes down to Walker, Hill, Musgrove, because you don't want to go Wade Miley. It's just too risky. And you can't touch either one of the Yankees, Mariners pitchers. So at the end of the day, between Walker, Hill, Weaver, I do like Rich Hill to pitch a nice game at home. The Dodgers are really rolling. It's one of those things where you almost expect it to be a 1, 2, 3 inning every time you're there. I was actually just at the ballpark for the game Tuesday night where Ryu threw basically a perfect game. And the momentum, you just feel like the Dodgers are just going to dominate every game. It's going to be a quick-paced game. It's going to be a fast game. Rich Hill's going to compete with Patrick Corbin. So you can go there. It's between him or Walker. And to be honest, Walker at times he just sometimes is not an ace. The matchup is fine, but he could also run into trouble. I like Rich Hill more at the end of the day.
Alright, so you sold me on the Rich Hill, for the price tag. He's faced National Line at home, he's probably got high potential, and you already guaranteed that he's going to get a quality start. So I'll lock him in tomorrow, unless something really, facing tomorrow when I start the rest of our research really dive in. So you're saying actually you're stacking, you want a full game stack, 4-on-4
Correct. And I'll tell you my top 2 hitters of that stack, because you obviously can't fit them all. There's a lot of guys that play first. There's a lot of guys that play outfield, that you'd want on both sides. But the number 1 guy you must put on that team is Edwin Encarnacion facing the lefty J.A. Happ. I mentioned him earlier. He is on fire. Throw him in your lineup. Count that home run before it even happens. And if you want one other guy, Domingo Santana gets me excited as well. He hit a home run. He's starting to feel some momentum. And I'll give you one more. You might as well just go with Mitch Haniger, because Haniger is basically playing home run derby baseball as of late. He hit a home run, earlier today on Wednesday. He's on fire. So get all 3 of those guys in your lineup.
So let me pick your brain while we're at it. How much do you take ownership into perspective, when building your GPP lines, and how much do you take Vegas into your line creation? Like I told you earlier, we have the Braves and we have the Astros running at high projected totals. How do you factor that into your plays and into your research? And the second part of that question is, how do you factor in ownership when you're attacking stacks?
I don't look at Vegas over-unders. I make my own projected score totals, and I feel that's always the best way to go about when doing anything, like even if you're picking which games that you're going to bet on, or wager on, I should say. I'll edit that. Which games you're going to wager on, you don't want to see, they're minus 220. That means they're likely going to win. You really should do your own analysis and your own picking and then go from there. So to answer your question, I do not look at those numbers, so they do not affect my picks.
And what about ownership? You ever factor in ownership? Like you think, the Astros are going to come in heavily owned? Do you ride the wave and try to differentiate other places, or do you kind of just go back and say, you know what? I think the Astros are going to be, heavily owned, the short slate. I think the Yankees have an equal opportunity to have a breakout game. So I'm trying to play the Yankees due to ownership, or you just kind of ride the team that you're feeling best about, and you just try to figure out ways to differentiate with the pitchers, and in combinations, in bigger slates. Ownership is not as important as some people make it, but what's your take on that?
Well, I'll give you some next level thinking right here and tell you that I don't care what anyone else is going to play, and the only person I'm competing against is myself. So
you must have read the book, Jeremy, because that's my same approach. I really never take a look at ownership. Like you said, we're competing against a bunch of other players, but if we're right, we're going to be in contention. Will we win first place? Maybe, maybe not. But if we do what we're supposed to be doing, we get on the right games, let the higher powers that be kind of decide if we're taking first place or sixth place or 10th place. But, that's the same approach I take. I don't really look at ownership, especially from a baseball perspective. Maybe, in other sports I might take a little bit bigger look at it. But I try to get my best plays in, my best stacks in, my best pitchers in, knowing that there's going to be spots where I'm going to be different. And little plays here and there. I can have one-offs, in a 4-3-1 sack in the games. Now, one last question before we leave. I want the listeners to kind of understand, your mindset a little bit more. You're constantly interviewing everybody else on the podcast. Where are you at with stacking? Are you a traditional stack guy? Do you avoid stacking? Do you go with the 4-4 on FanDuel, 4-3-1, 4-2-2? What's your approach to stacking?
Let me tell you, I've made probably, I'm not even exaggerating, over 50,000 daily fantasy lineups in my lifetime. Probably even more, to be honest. And there's no correct answer because anything can happen on any night. You could stack the 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters of a team and that can work perfectly. You can stack the 5, 6, 7, 8 hitters, that can work perfectly. Or you can do the 1, the 5, the 7. It's one of those things where you just need everything to line up correctly. Of course, if I'm playing a double-up tournament, I want to guarantee my chances of making my money. I'm going to play, the 1, 2, 3, 4 more likely. And it depends who the batters are, of course. But, you look to get the front end of the teams that are going to score the most runs.
No, but I just want to just to clarify the question. When you go with stacking, you typically try to do 2 stacks of 4 and 4, or do you go with 4, 3, and 1, or do you just switch it up, depending on how you feel about your overall lineup?
Every night is different, but typically if there's a pitcher that I really want who's high priced, and we talked about Rich Hill, I'm not going to say that, Rich Hill is Clayton Kershaw, or it's even whatever, Blake Snell type of numbers. Hopefully he does. But if there's a pitcher like a Blake Snell and there's an offense that you love, then you take Blake Snell, you take as many of the batters that you love on that team. If it's 3, if it's 4, you can get them all. And then from there, you just pick in randoms that you met at the bar to fill out the rest of your lineup.
I like the way you put it, man. No, so that's no question I want to read, just kind of dive into your head. I agree with pretty much everything Jeremy said. There's so many different ways. The day I won $155,000 on FanDuel playing baseball, I didn't sack. I had many sacks. I had 2 guys in one lineup, 2 guys in another lineup, and I had a couple of one-offs in it. And it was a way to be different, and it won these tournaments. Every night when you kind of watch the leaderboards, you'll see 4 sacks, 4, 3, 1 sacks. You'll see random people just picking, 6 random players from 6 different teams and a 2-man stack. So you can do it any single way. I think each player kind of has to decide how they're feeling that night and go with your gut, go with your feeling. Traditionally, stacking will win out more than it doesn't. So, trying to focus in on at least on 1 stack, like Jeremy said, and your best fixture, and build around that. If it happens to be, you can get a Mariners stack with the Yankee stack. That's a great touch if you feel like it's the right play. If it's hot in New York and the wind's blowing out and you have 2 pitchers that can easily get blown up, it could be the lineup that takes me and Jeremy to San Diego at the end of the summer. So, I hope Rich Hill does well. I got to see if I end up on the Yankees and the Mariners. I got to do some more research in regards to these other matchups, but I can see it definitely playing out on both of those sides. And these game stacks, when 2 teams kind of battle it out and they're going back and forth in a competitive game, that's a great way to get all of your players, involved when 2 teams are battling it out. You really don't want a 6-0 game, a 7-0 game when they start taking people out and they're not really focused on the game as much. The game stacks, the full game stacks usually pay out really, really well if you're on the right game on the right night. So I like that approach. And let's leave off that. Jeremy, it's been a pleasure doing both of these podcasts with you today. I'm looking forward to being on with you again.
No doubt. Thank you again, Jason. And you can win. Okay, and then I'll finish it all off on post. Perfect.
All right. Sounds good. What do you think about how it went?
I think it went great, don't you?
Yeah, no, I think it was really good, man. I think we gave gave the listeners a little bit more of strategy and process than what I've heard recently. And I think it was a good back and forth. I think we, for the most part, on every game, we gave people, some solid picks, some solid